Hi everyone! In this video tutorial I'm going to teach you how those slanted or sloped edge photos are made, how to cut off any portion of the photo in general, and how to create some really nice morphing animations on mouseover. All of that by using one simple CSS property named Clippy. If you're still confused with the topic of this tutorial, here's what I'm talking about. However, I'm not about to recreate all of these examples this time because possibilities are literally endless. I'll rather introduce a few simple steps that teach you how things actually work. The training file, the one that you're looking at on screen right now, can be downloaded from the link in the description of this video. Just to mention that for the purpose of this tutorial, you're going to need Elementor PRO because free version of Elementor does not include the custom CSS panel. I'm sorry about that. Alright, in order to save some time, I already have created my info or content boxes. The structure is quite simple. Here's the image widget, the title, some text, and the button. But the image widget is actually the only subject of changes that I'm about to make. So I'll start right away with defining some custom classes. This time I'll do the CSS code first, after which I'll assign the custom class name to the image widgets on a stage. In the bottom left corner is the settings button, that little cog icon, and I'm going to hit it to bring the page settings panel to focus. And I'm going to use the custom CSS panel of the page settings because I'm about to define reusable custom class names. It means that every image widget that I assign the custom class name to inherits all the rules defined under that particular class name. The very first class name, the one that doesn't include any hover animation, will be photo shape. Okay? And the second one that does include morphing will be photo morph. These two should be pretty much straightforward, even though you might be confused by the img tag name used at the end. So the point is that we are about to cut off the portion of the photo itself rather than the image widget, because the image widget is way more than just the photo. It consists of a few div elements that wrap the actual photo. All I need now is the clip path definition. In order to avoid quite often complicated and confusing sequence of numbers, I'll simply go to the Clippy website and generate my clip path in a more friendly way. Beside a whole bunch of predefined shapes, I'll pick the one, let's say trapezoid, and I'll modify it to create the slanted bottom shape. You can move these colored nodes however you like. At the end, all I have to do is to copy the clip path from the page bottom and paste between the two curly brackets of my first custom class name. So it turns out that you don't need to know anything about the clip path if you know how to copy paste, right? Next, let's do the clip path for our second custom class name, the one that's supposed to morph from one shape to another. Let's see how to do that. This one relies on one simple fact, and which is that the clip path CSS property can be animated. And beside one simple fact, there's one simple rule which says that the number of nodes of the shape before the animation should be equal or identical to the number of nodes of the final or the target shape. It's not a must though, but if you want to end up with a smooth and seamless animation, you'll follow that rule. So let's morph or transform rectangle into the right arrow shape. Once again, let's go to Clippy website and choose the right arrow shape. Now simply copy all the clip path code. Let's get back to Elementor editor and paste the code between the curly brackets of the hover event. Why? Because this is the target shape of the hover event. That's why. Okay, and if I follow the rule of the equal nodes number, I'll have to create rectangle out of the right arrow shape. That's why I'll go back to Clippy and rearrange all the nodes to form the rectangle. So I'm not going to remove any node, even though only 4 nodes are enough to create the rectangle, as you know. I'll keep them all. And in case you want to check how the 4 node shape transforms into the 7 node shape, give it a shot. I'm sure it's going to be pretty much crappy. Alright. Now that I have my 7 nodes rectangle, I'll simply copy the clip path being generated by Clippy and paste between my photomorph custom class name. Let's now quick check what's happening on mouseover. Whoop, nothing. So what's wrong? Well, I obviously forgot to assign the custom class name to my image widgets. So my first info box is supposed to have a custom class name photo shape, while the second one should be photo morph. It can be vice versa, it doesn't matter. By assigning a custom class name, you actually assign the custom task to the particular widget or the element. Okay, as you can see, the shape has changed, but the change happens instantly. So our last step is to animate the transformation. That's why I'm going to add the transition property to the clip path, which looks like this. And if I do the mouse over again, our super simple morphing is pretty much done. So this is all it takes to do some simple shaping and morphing. Of course, I could now make a step further and spice it up a little bit. For instance, I could add some CSS transform properties too, like rotation or scaling, and thus create more complex or more realistic morphing. Let's try to add a rotation, just a quick shot. Okay, we're gonna rotate our shape for 90 degrees counterclockwise. Of course, I want to animate the transform property too, just like the clip path. And in order to do that, I have to define the type of transform, transform length, and the transform effect. So I'll just add the comma after the clip path transition and define another one, like this. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it works now. As you can see, that's what makes the arrow shape rotate for 90 degrees counterclockwise. Is there any way to do the animation in some sort of sequential order? Yes, there is. I could also add another parameter after the effect type, which actually represents the pause or a delay, like this. Okay? 0.2 seconds of a delay. And if I give it a shot now, rotation will start as soon as the morphing animation is over. You can play with different settings. You can even include some perspective transformations and end up with some really nice, unusual hover effects. At the end, is there anything that needs to be mentioned with regards to responsiveness? Well, I'm afraid not this time. Our clip path coordinates are percentage based and everything scales up or down just fine. So that's it. You can download the training file from the link in the description of this video. If you plan to buy Elementor Pro, you can use the link provided in the description as well, because I'm in an affiliate program of Elementor, and that's how you can help me earn some cash. Okay, I'll be back soon. Peace and love.